It's been 10 years since U.S. forces entered Iraq and began the war known as Operation Iraqi Freedom. Melissa Anderson gives us an account of how one soldier is looking back on the initial invasion and how it changed him as a leader.
March 19, 2003, a day marked in history as the beginning of a war that changed the lives of countless Americans. It was on this day that then Captain Andy Helms, commander of Alpha Company 164 Armor, led his soldiers over the berm and into Operation Iraqi Freedom.
At dusk on the second day, as the sun began to set, that we ran into our first enemy resistance, which was entirely unlike anything we really had expected. We were pretty well protected in our armored vehicles. We began to systematically engage the enemy. We ended up staying in small arms contact the entire night.
For the next 3 weeks, the Desert Rogues fought their way through Iraq headed to the country's capital. As they neared Baghdad's airport on April 5th, the reality of combat hit home.
It was at that point when, on our company net, the lead platoon, which was right in front of me, the platoon sergeant, Red 4, Sergeant First Class Gaines, came up on the net, and he called, my call sign was Black 6, but he said Black 6, Red 4, Red 3's dead. Red 3 was our senior tank commander in the company, Staff Sergeant Steve Booker. I couldn't believe of all the guys that would have gotten hit, it'd be Booker. Booker was like the last guy I was worried about.
Staff Sergeant Booker was one of over 4,400 American service members who paid the ultimate sacrifice during Operation Iraqi Freedom. In the 7-year conflict, U.S. armed forces freed the Iraqi people from their evil dictator, assisted in building civil and military capacity, and set the stage for a democratic government.
There's been a lot of questions, hey, was it worth it? As I left Iraq in 2010, I had my highs and lows, question of whether or not we could win it, whether or not the Iraqi people were willing to embrace democracy, whether they were going to be our friends in the future. My snapshot, my personal snapshot when we left in 2010 was yeah, that it was worth it. We did something good.
Operation Iraqi Freedom officially ended on September 1st, 2010. But the lives lost and lessons learned during this war will never be forgotten.
The experience has given me great peace, because until you are in an experience where you're not sure you're going to live another moment, you're not going to be there tomorrow, and until you come to grips with the fact that you may be dead, it's hard to put life in that perspective.
Melissa Anderson, Fort Benning TV.